Let's bring in Steve Forbes, Forbes Media chairman and editor-in-chief and author of Inflation, What It Is and Why It's Bad and How to Fix It. Steve, we'll talk about inflation for a second, but in a moment, but changing the rules of the game, giving orders to the OMB about how much regulations really cost. I mean, the next thing they're going to do is to change the labor statistics. I mean, they're really doing what they're doing in China, trying to just obliterate the facts in order to get their policies through.
Yeah, the rule of law has gone out the window. Normally, you have to go through Congress. You have to go through a process when you want to make a change like that. But he's acting like Louis XIV. They're just dictated. And Biden is not running this government anymore. The regulators are. The far left has taken over key agencies, and they're just going all out, figuring maybe we'll win in 2024, but if we don't, we're going to make it very hard for them to reverse it. That's why they're so eager to get all that spending out there, create constituencies like years ago was done with ethanol, where once it's in, very hard to get away from. Yeah. So we have all these wasteful programs draining the economy and reducing future growth.
Well, and frankly, socializing the economy. I mean, you've mentioned for quite a while now, ever since Biden came in, that they're going to use regulations to try to socialize it because the Congress would never openly vote for it, so they'll do it through the regulatory system. And now that's exactly what's happened.
Yeah, you don't have to own a resource or company. You just control it through regulation. The auto industry is now becoming an appendage of the transportation department, where their existence is going to depend on the sufferance of the bureaucrats there and the people in the White House, not through selling things in the marketplace.
And by the way, you just to be clear, you can calculate the costs of regulations. Casey Mulligan from the University of Chicago did it and found out that the costs of the Biden rules, all of the new Biden rules, are actually $5,000 per household since he's been in power. That's 15% more than it was under President Obama. And the Trump deregulation policies actually saved taxpayers about $2,600. So you actually Americans ended up with more money in their pockets with the deregulation policies of Trump.
But the beauty part of that from the regulatory point of view is it's not an appropriation bill from Congress. Therefore, it doesn't get any news coverage at all, ignored entirely except by those who are interested.
It's sneaky socialism is what it is.
Yeah.
If you want to use a phrase, sneaky socialism. Anyway, let's talk about the president, talk about sneaky. Coming in with this anti-inflation program, the Inflation Reduction Act, which had nothing to do, and you read the Treasury memo on it today, with very little, if anything, in talking about reducing inflation. It's all about the money that they're spending on green energy programs, and again, the regulatory costs of this new green energy program. So it's not anti-inflation. Inflation has come down, let's face it, because of the Fed raising interest rates, not because they're spending less money in Washington. It's the opposite.
No, and what happened to Mr. Deficit Fighter of a year ago? Remember how he boasted about that?
Absolutely.
It's only doubled this year. And so you see this continuing again and again. They spend more, but the key thing is they are putting in rules and regulations. Nobody pays attention to them that are going to devastate the economy and turn us into a European-style socialist waste state, like sadly you see in France, where if they get above 1% growth, break out the champagne. Right. I was going to try French, but I can't.
By the way, about the deficit reduction, he again repeated yesterday that line that he saved $1.7 trillion in the debt. He actually said the deficit, which was wrong, but he didn't do it in the debt either, and that was because of the sunlighting or sunsetting of all of the COVID programs. It wasn't because he was spending less money.
And what's ominous about the increase in the deficit is not just the spending, but government revenues are going down, not up.
Yeah.
Not a good sign for the economy going for them in 2024.
By the way, very quickly, another spending program that too many Republicans signed on to, the CHIPS Act, $39 billion. The Wall Street Journal had a headline about it in their news pages saying talent from Goldman Sachs, KKR, and Blackstone will help determine how $39 billion in semiconductor chip subsidies are allocated. Of course, politics will have nothing to do with it, right?
It's politics and it's statism, the kind we saw in Italy in the 1920s and 30s and other countries, socialism today, what we saw even under communism. They bring in the private sector, but you're working for the government. You're working hand in hand with the government instead of entrepreneurs out on their own, coming up with innovations, testing them in the marketplace. People like it. They get rewarded. We get rewarded with the higher standard of living. This is just putting their arms all around industry, big industry, and saying, you're part of the government.
I'm getting
now.
a wrap, but I have to throw in one quick one as a final thing, the carbon tax. Unfortunately, again, too many Republicans, I think, are in favor of the carbon tax. It has been used in Canada. It's killing farmers in Canada, right?
What's making them uncompetitive, costing them thousands of dollars, and for what purpose? None of this stuff works in helping the economy. Natural gas does. Nuclear power does. That is science. That's the science. This rest of this stuff is just a power grab under the guise of green. It's green cronyism. It's not green environment.
A lot of people are getting rich on the left side, the proponents of this green energy, people like John Kerry and Al Gore, et cetera. Steve, great to see you. Thank you.
Good to see you, David. Thank you.